Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Lisa Richardson, and today we're coming to you from the Beaufort College building located downtown Beaufort at the USCB Historic Campus. Joining us today are three guests. Our first guest would be Miss Kim Dudas. She is the Associate Professor of Nursing. Our next guest is Joe Staten, the Professor of Biology and Marine Science. And our third guest is Chris Robinson, who is a Professor of Art, talking about the wonderful program that students can experience here. So stick around and join us for this episode of 843 TV, where communities come to speak.
(843 TV), where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
(843 TV),
where communities come to speak. Welcome to 843 TV, coming to you from the beautiful USCB Beaufort campus in downtown Beaufort. And joining us today is our first guest, Kim Dudas. Good morning, and good to have us today, Kim.
Good morning, and we're really happy that you're here.
We are too, and of course we're amongst this majestic setting. We've got a live oak in front of us and some beautiful things behind us. It's a pleasure to be here and show the beauty of your campus. But today we're going to be talking about a brand new program starting in the fall, a nursing program. Share the general information with us about that.
Sure. USCB's had a nursing program for about 10 years now. That's always been offered on the main campus in Bluffton, and we are starting a new program here, an honors program in the fall of the coming year. So we're really excited about that.
What is the difference between the honors program? How does that differ between maybe a typical nursing program? Is there a difference?
There is a difference. Nursing is a challenging major no matter what. But with an honors program, we're looking for really outstanding, well-rounded candidates that display not only academic abilities, but also the leadership abilities that we're looking for. And this program's designed to help foster that growth.
Great. So it's kind of like the upper echelon of people that aspire to be in the nursing program. Now tell us about this residential community learning model.
So with the residential learning community model, it's really taking that cohort model of grouping a group of students together to share an experience and adding to that piece about living on campus in the same area so that they get the opportunity to live and go to class together. And in the end, that really does help to develop them and they really become a family, so to speak.
Yes.
And that family really does help them become successful. We find that through the evidence that residential learning communities really increase graduation rates and on-time graduation rates, which are really important factors.
I think that's a good point because they're spending a lot of time together, not just in a classroom, but that sort of holds some accountability between them, develops those relationships, and they're more likely to succeed and together.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
That's great.
What will be unique about the new nursing honors program?
So the big unique piece about that is that we're admitting these honor students as freshmen, which is something new for our nursing program. Typically students are admitted to USCB and then there's a secondary competitive process to get into the nursing major. So what we're doing is admitting them as freshmen right away, and the benefit of that is that they really get to become part of nursing much sooner, introducing the concept of nursing and what it's all about in a much quicker way. So that really helps to integrate them into the community of nursing.
We've talked about it a lot because of our joint interest, but community in Beaufort's been a large part of USCB for a long time, and we're glad to actually be back up here. So, you know, some of the aspects we discussed about what about Beaufort itself makes us attractive for this kind of program.
Right. I think that one of the benefits that we have is, as a small university in this setting, that we have such tremendous community support. It's really something that I think sets us apart and makes us very unique. And the community involvement and the passion that they have, I think, inspires us to want to give back to the community in some way. And nursing is, there's a shortage in South Carolina, much bigger than there is across other parts of the nation, and we want to do our part to help provide those very much needed healthcare providers in this community. So it's important for us to be able to give back for all of the support that they they have given us over this period of time.
Is there anything in particular that just the general community can do to support you or to help you get this program going or to sustain it?
I think that having this residential learning community here, living in this area, there's opportunities for students every day to interact with members of the community, and I think that in and of itself offers great learning opportunities that just make this such a very unique place. And what I find is that the community really champions our students when they get to know them, and they are out there rooting for them and helping them to be successful. So I think that there's a beautiful give and take with all of that.
Sure. And I think it's, you mentioned there's a shortage in South Carolina, and because we are not just a beautiful community, but there are a lot of, in our area, a lot of retirees and people of later stage of life that there is quite a need.
Right,
so that
right.
should be an encouragement to those thinking about this program as far as after their education
Sure.
placement. So maybe share a little bit there.
There's tremendous career opportunities in this area, not only in the acute care settings, but our goal really is to help keep people well and keep them out of the hospital.
Yeah.
And so that really means that we want to make sure our education is well-rounded so that they can move into settings that are in the community, so we can keep people well in the community. There's a lot of need here, not just among our older population, but among people that are undocumented, underinsured or uninsured, that really have tremendous health care needs. And so we're really working on our curriculum to make sure that those pieces are incorporated so they can go out into the community with our partners and be prepared to help handle the health care needs of this region.
Yeah, that's a very important point that you mentioned there. And so the opportunities are quite unlimited. So that's a great thing to share. Anything else you want to share before we close about the nursing program? Some other things I know you're passionate and excited about. Anything else that we'd like to hear?
I just think that one of the things is with an honors program, sometimes people look only at the academics, prospective students, and really in this program we're looking beyond the academics. That's certainly important to be academically prepared, but we want people that we can grow into future leaders, that are inspired to give back to the community. So we're really looking at candidates that have other strong experiences aside from that academic strength, because those are the people that will come here, that will stay here, and that will really contribute to the community in the future.
Absolutely. Well, Kim, we appreciate you sharing all about this new program coming up in the fall, and you all stay right here. We'll be back with more 843 TV. Welcome back to 843 TV, here today at the beautiful USCB campus in downtown Beaufort. Our next guest is Joe Staten, and he's going to be sharing about the new biology program coming next fall in 2018.
Yes, very soon.
Yes, can't wait to hear about that. So Joe, share with us about the honors program that's going to be starting.
Well, we're kind of phasing in honors at the same time we're phasing in a new refocused effort up here. And so it's going to be kind of a hybrid. We're calling it an honors experience. We're going to have some honors structure, some special seminars for students. But the idea is to offer a residential cohort model living experience to STEM students, as well as what we've already heard about nursing.
Right.
And actually it's a good fit with nursing too, because of our biomedical concentration. We're hoping with some of those students and other students will be interested in kind of commingling activities with some of the nursing students because of that particular attraction. So it's very exciting. It's something I think that's long overdue, and I'm glad we can finally get this rolling. We're now in a critical mass where we can afford to actually, have this kind of effort up here and support it strongly. So.
What will the natural surroundings of the Beaufort campus mean for the program?
Well, that's, I hate to use the term my students use, no-brainer, but I mean, we're surrounded by water and the marine environment, and a lot of our people who actually do research that has biomedical emphasis as well also work in marine systems. So the idea is that you're surrounded by a natural laboratory, where students literally can walk out of the back of the Marine Science Building, and you've got marsh right there. As a matter of fact, when I started here, there was no Bluffton campus, and my office was in that building, and we would walk out there and do labs right outside the door. which is something we can't do on the Bluffton campus. It's a beautiful campus, but we have to take vans and take students places to do things. So that, and also the long-term support of the Beaufort community for the school, we're hoping that will translate into a meaningful experience for the students as well.
I think this is a key part, in my opinion, of this program is about the natural resources. And you
Yeah.
just mentioned you can't do it in Bluffton, but you really can't do it at a lot of places that might have this program. So we are literally, as you said, surrounded by water just behind this building, and not just here, but all along the coastline. So it's a wonderful place, as you said, to explore and outside hands-on lab.
Yeah, we have some good ties with Waddell, and one of our former graduates is the head educational ranger out at Hunting Island, and there's all kinds of potential for the students to get out into the community very quickly and much easier than possibly at the Bluffton campus. But also have some of those students maybe come up here and interact too. So
Sure. So if I'm a student in this new program, what are some areas of concentration I might explore?
Well, they're the same areas we have as down south. We have a concentration in biomedical sciences. That's for most of our students who are interested in some phase of medical postgraduate work, either med school, dental school, vet school, or also increasingly important physician's assistants, medical lab technologists, and the like, people who are working in hospitals. But also our other main focus is coastal ecology and conservation, which a lot of our students have been. We now have almost as many students interested in that area too. Students don't have to concentrate in either one, but if they take some extra coursework, they get a statement on their transcripts about that concentration. And certainly other students take those same courses as well, so it's just a specific thing they can do. General biology degree is still a very, very diverse offering of courses with a lot of different experiences for students.
With Kim, we talked about after education's over, some employment career opportunities, even here locally. How do you see that as far as a projection?
Well, we like I said, we've placed people locally in certain agencies, as well as students working in the communities. But we're hoping that will grow some, especially with the ability of our students in this area to interact with folks in the region who have environmental concerns, but also the number of hospitals and other healthcare also impacts our students because of those students who want to go on and do healthcare as their primary focus when they graduate as well. So biology degree is a very diverse and very well-rounded STEM discipline with a lot of different foci, and so a student with a biology degree can do a heck of a lot of different things, not just biology per se. So we're hoping that fits in with possibly even some, with Chris's program in art, some what we now call, instead of STEM, we call STEAM opportunities, which adds the traditional science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. Because art and science go back to Da Vinci. He's known more for his art than his engineering with most people, but he definitely was, an incredible inventor as well. So the visualization process and what that does to help students comprehend complex and sometimes somewhat nebulous topics that are abstract. Sometimes an abstract illustration can get that across to them better than a long lecture by me.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So it will be kind of neat to see how these two programs can help each other out. Now,
We're hoping.
Community support, as we talked about with Kim, is very important and very vital. What are some ways the community can get behind this?
Well, we have lots of people already behind us in the community. We have a lot of people who are contributing down south and up north into scholarship programs for our students. We're hoping that we may be able to even talk to people about other opportunities for them to interact with the students on a regular basis through public forums on campus, but also our current quality enhancement plan, which is something we do as part of our SACS accreditation, also speaks to getting students involved with community needs, with the town council, with local nonprofits that have needs, sometimes in environmental work, sometimes it's other fields as well in the university. So we're hoping that also integrates well with this honors program, because we're going to be calling on these students to do a lot of outside of classroom experiences to enhance what they do and to make it more than just an academic exercise as a degree, but actually where those kind of skills can be applied.
Great. Great information, good stuff. Stay right here. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about the arts program. Welcome back to 843 TV. Our next guest here is Mr. Chris Robinson, who is with the Fine Arts Program here at USCB. And welcome. Now, you've been here all along. Now it's your turn to get to talk about what you're passionate about. So share with us a little bit about the Fine Arts Program in general.
Well, it's a small but comprehensive program. We offer all the studio areas: ceramics, painting, drawing, sculpture, printmaking, photography. We also have art history, and we now have a comprehensive media arts program with broadcast, games, comics, the whole works.
Oh, wow. And you mentioned media, and that's a huge thing today in our times now. Share with us a little bit about those areas of study.
Well, the digital environment's playing a much larger role in the visual arts, just like it is in every other discipline.
Sure.
But we're also studying game design, website development, just every aspect of the media.
Which is important, and like you said, in all facets of business with the website design, so you can go a lot of directions with that. Now, what are some advantages for students in the studio art program?
Well, it's a small but comprehensive program with the strength of a university and part of a comprehensive research system. So you really have a beautiful, intimate environment where students get a lot of personal attention, small classes, big studios, but exposure to the broader art world.
So Chris, one thing, when people drive by here, they see the school, but they don't know the comprehensive nature of the facilities you have and what students can actually use. So if you can give a little background for everybody so they know a little bit more about some of those features you're talking about in concrete terms.
Well, again, very small classes, large studio spaces, very strong digital technology, cooperative efforts with ETV, and a strong local arts community.
Let's talk about jobs again, because everyone, wants to know, okay, well, where can my future be? What kind of jobs might an alumni have?
Yeah, parents used to ask me this question. They'd say, what can my child do with a degree in the arts? And I'd sort of shrug my shoulders and say, I'm not sure. But things have changed in the last 10 or 15 years. It turns out that there are many opportunities in the media, web design, graphic design, but more importantly, business and industry tells us that what they're looking for, things are changing so rapidly, we can't really teach them in an institution what they're going to do in the job, but we can teach them to be communicators and problem solvers, and those are two of the most significant things for business and industry. So we find our students are quite marketable.
And I think those two things you mentioned are just in general in life, and any education you might pursue in jobs are very important. And you mentioned the time frame. What length of the program is it, by the way? What is the typical? Is it 2 years?
No, it's a comprehensive 4-year program. They get a good general education the first couple of years with some taste of the art courses, and then focus more specifically on the art courses in the last few years.
Share with us a little more about just the local environment here as far as student housing, or do most of these students live on campus? How does it work? Or not on campus, but around the campus?
It's the best of all worlds. Again, it's a small, beautiful community. There's a strong arts community here, and we've got residential environment here on the campus, but we're also expanding our residential facilities here on the Beaufort campus, on the historic campus.
About how many, just for those who may not know, how many students do you have down here at the Beaufort campus?
It varies a little bit.
About 50 students in the art program, I can tell you.
And
it'll be increasing significantly with the 2 new cohorts in nursing and science and tech.
And we do offer some courses at night and things that are general education science courses and other courses for people who are thinking about coming back to school or trying to get some continuing ed credit as well.
Let's talk about that, because that's the subject that sometimes we forget. Now, what can your program offer to someone who might want to return to school or maybe join school in later life?
Well, we have a lot of retirees in this community who may have spent a lifetime doing something else, but now want to return to their passion and make art. And it's a great opportunity for them to come back and learn more about the professional world of art, be exposed to national and international trends and new media and new skills. Yeah,
which really opens up your program to a whole new segment of people to join.
Lifelong learning.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, there's a lot of people second time around in retirement life, they have a lot of wonderful, healthy, good years, and they want to get out and do something. So this is a great chance, not for young students, but for those who already had a career and want to get back into something new or something to continue. So good point.
We already have a pretty strong continuing ed program that does meet up here too, but this is actually the opportunity to actually real college credit, being in the same classes actually with the college students, and that works both ways. The experience of the people who have a lifetime experience with the students who don't, it brings up everybody's game a little bit.
And there's tremendous resources here. People who've been in professions in other places who've come here to retire and have great skills they can bring to the institution as well.
Absolutely. And we talked about in the other segments community support. How can community get behind this program or continue to help out? What can they do?
Well, there's a thriving art environment here in Beaufort. There are many galleries downtown. We have the Center for the Arts just across the way here, which is a wonderful performance facility. You get every aspect of the arts here and plenty of support.
And not just here in Beaufort, but close by. You've got Hilton Head Island that's got the art center there, and
close to Savannah and close to Charleston.
Oh, let's not even forget about, of course, Savannah. We're very close to Savannah, and there's wonderful opportunities there. So for post-education employment and opportunities, there's well beyond just the Beaufort area.
Not to speak of the fact that after classes in the afternoon, you can go surfing or sailing or
or just hang out in a local coffee shop.
Exactly. Take advantage of that marine life back there.
Absolutely.
And go do some fishing and so forth. So definitely a wonderful place, not for just education, but for a lifestyle here in downtown Beaufort in our Low Country area. So with these two new additions to the program, I can only see that will benefit us as a whole. So last comment you want to share about the arts program before we close out?
It's the best possible situation at a very good cost.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, it was a pleasure to talk to you today about these programs here at USCB and hear about your passion for it. And thank you all for being with us and watching this episode of 843 TV, where communities come